All right, what's good, everybody? I'm just gonna speak real brief on the Brian McIntyre Bomac situation of him getting arrested out in the UK in Manchester airport. Okay, the news is it's about 5 days old. You know what I mean? It's pretty old at this point. To be honest, I was hoping some more information, more details about what actually happened came out because I first seen the news on Twitter. I woke up in the morning was the first thing I saw. I was actually up with my dad, so we got up. I told him we was discussing it a little bit because it just didn't make any sense for you to get caught with a gun in Manchester Airport. Like it didn't really make sense to me. Why would you have a firearm over there? They don't even have guns over there like that. I mean, the couple times I've been out there, and from the people that I know from out there, they've always had stabbing knife issues. You know what I mean? They don't have firearms there. The police don't even have firearms over there. It's not a thing. You get caught with a gun like Devin Haney. He got caught with a gun. Wilder got caught with a gun. Recently and stuff. I think the Devin Haney one was dismissed. Wilder, he's a licensed carrier. I think he was just out in LA or something with it. It wasn't a big deal. Like, I don't even report it because if it's not affecting a fight, I really don't even talk about it because guns is in America. Guns is a normal thing. A lot of people are licensed to carry, depending on what state you are, whatever. Everybody has a police have. Everybody has guns. So when I heard this, I really didn't understand what's going on. My first reaction was setup. Why? Because Chris Eubank just destroyed Liam Smith. I'm not even thinking Errol or Bud Crawford. I'm thinking a fight that just occurred out there with Liam Smith and I'm sorry, Chris Eubank Jr. I'm thinking of that fight. Like, oh God, I know they hate the Eubanks. I mean, I made content just talking about like, why do they hate him so much out there? They can't stand him out there, but he just beat the hell out of Liam Smith last week. I saw the fight. He beat the hell out of him, and Bomac was coaching him. He's his new coach. And it was the best Eubank I've ever seen. So when I wake up in the morning and I see a tweet that Bomac gets caught with a gun in his luggage in Manchester Airport, and I'm thinking, where did he even get a gun in Manchester? Why would he even need to go there and get a gun? So I'm like, this got to be some kind of setup. And I normally don't think like that. I'm not a major conspiracy person. You know what I mean? But I'm like, are they that mad this guy coached them and they just don't want him to ever come back there? What's going on? Did somebody slip in his luggage at some point in his hotel room before he left? I don't know. I'm thinking of all of this stuff. Yo, I'm going to tell you how wild my imagination goes to the Joel Santana situation. Because a lot of you guys might not know who Joel Santana is, but he's a rapper from Dipset who went to airport, I believe here in New York. All right, he's supposed to be flying out, and his carry-on bag had a gun in it, and it reacted, and he saw it, and he just ran out of the airport. They had to put a warrant out for him, and then he ended up turning himself in. I'm thinking from that because I'm like, did Bomac just forget the gun? If he's a because I read that he's a licensed carrier. Did he forget that this gun was in his luggage going out there? But then I'm like, TSA didn't catch it as he was leaving the airport, or they didn't catch it when he landed in the UK. But then, and this was me and my dad was talking about. I mean, then the conversation comes like maybe he flew out private. Now, if you fly on a private jet from out here, the security is a lot different. It's not as tight. So maybe he had it. But my thing is, did Bomac still? It still stands. Did Bomac forget it was in his luggage? Or did he fly out there intentionally with it, thinking that he needs to carry that shit everywhere he go? And not to make it seem like the UK is soft or anything. I don't want y'all to take it that way. But, I mean, that's the last place that I would think First of all, when I travel, you anytime I travel internationally, man, you're not the privileges you get here in America, because America, you can do whatever the hell you want. This is part of the reason why crime is as bad as it is here. But when you are flying out, I'm thinking of all these people. I'm thinking of Joel Santana. I'm thinking of Brittany Griner getting caught with the vape out in Russia and doing time there, doing actual time there for vape, or whatever that she had. You know what I mean? I'm thinking of that. And I'm like, you go away internationally, the rules are different. Whatever you do here, don't go out there with it. Whatever it is that you do your research. Make sure you are aware of what the rules are. Because if you go out to a country, you go out to British soil, and you go into a place where there are no firearms, and you bring a firearm there, it's gonna be hard to beat that. Now he has a court date scheduled in October. I think it was October 9th. All right, so I guess at that point we're gonna find out if he's gonna get, like, there's a hearing. So I guess we're gonna figure out if he's gonna get sentenced or what. But I normally don't care when guys get jammed up. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you gotta be responsible. You know what I mean? You gotta be responsible. But Bomac is like, we don't hear nothing from him. He's not a guy that just gets in trouble. And I'm concerned simply because he's out in another country where you might have to do 5-10 years for having a gun. That would be crazy for you to go out there, and I'm sure at some point we're going to know why or what happened. All right, but they're going to have to pull some serious strings for him to get out there, because they don't play that out there. This isn't America. So whatever the reason, if you forgot it was in your luggage or you felt the need to get it, I don't believe him actually finding it or getting it while he's there. That just doesn't make sense. Who can get you a gun out there? And why would you need one? I seriously think he had it in there because he forgot it. I'm thinking he forgot it. That's what I believe. I believe that he probably traveled locally, came back, and forgot it was in his luggage. I think he probably was on a move, and he had his luggage, and he probably had it secure. That little pocket in your luggage that you put whatever in there, that little pocket, that's where he probably had it. And he probably came back forgetting to take it out. And you probably flew private. I just don't believe he had it out there. But my first reaction was setup. I'm gonna be honest. I said it on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I woke up that morning, I saw it, I was like, this got to be some kind of setup. Why a firearm, a loaded firearm with ammunition? I don't want to forget that part. It's a loaded firearm with ammunition. I don't know, man. I don't know. Was he going away for a few days? Was he planning on going to the range for a few days somewhere locally, maybe in a week before this fly out, and forgot to take it out? Did that happen? I don't know. All I know is that this is terrible news, and I know people are talking about how it's going to affect Crawford going to the Spence rematch if he has to do time, and all the other fighters that he coached, like a Chris Eubank Jr. now. You could see the difference in that fight in Chris Eubank, how much of an effect that Bomac had on him preparing for that Liam Smith rematch. I know Liam says, I had to cut down 42 pounds. He had to do all this. He looked horrible. His legs weren't good. All right, bro, but that's your excuse, man. All right. A lot of people question the fight in the first place, the first fight, because there was an elbow that landed in between those punches. It is what it is. But whether or not you came in at your worst, Chris Eubank still came at his best. And we saw it because we were looking at the way that he was fighting, the way that he was timing the uppercut, using that jab. and using that lean ham and probing and the setups, everything was perfect and lined perfectly. The combinations and the fact that his cardio was great, the endurance was great. Everything that was working for him, he kept it up. And every round it looked like he was beginning to punch himself out. He didn't let off in the next round. He destroyed Liam Smith. He made it look like Liam Smith didn't belong in there. He did Liam Smith like he was supposed to do in the first fight. But good win. Great way to redeem yourself. But I still got questions. I still want to see you fight Jaime Munguia, Gennady Golovkin, Janibek. I want to see you fight someone with a pulse. Not saying Liam don't got one, but Liam had just moved up from 154. He hasn't proven shit for at 160. And he's older. So Bomac proved that he can change this guy. And we've seen different changes. And I believe what Bomac said. Bomac said, listen, he always had the ability to do this stuff. It's just more about being preparing to do it. And that's what, when it comes to these trainers, we've seen that this is the kind of impact you have. Chris always had the athleticism. He's always been a great, he's always had great endurance, except the Liam Williams fight. That's the only fight where I seen him burnt out pretty early. Those jab knockdowns what saved him in that fight. Good performance for him, but for Bomac, I feel bad because it's not even about him not being available for these fighters. It's about his life. This is serious. This is not like I know a lot of these fighters or anyone involved in the sport or any athlete getting involved with much more serious issues here in the States. But the reason why I'm more concerned about this is because of where it happened. They don't play it out there. They don't play that out there. And I don't even know if someone like him, even if they pull some strings, I don't know if they'll be able to take care of him. And some people are going to even question, should they pull strings for him? Because if it was someone else that wasn't Bomac, they'd be doing time. That's the reality. People are doing more time now for less stuff. I'm sure of it out there. There's more, they're strict. So I wish him luck. I don't believe, I don't know what happened. I don't know Bomac. I don't know anyone over there. I was listening to, shout out to Coach Malachi. I know he's built a relationship with the team. I was waiting for him to do content. I did see his content a few days ago, but he said that he doesn't know what's going on. He knows just as much as we know. And even if he did know more, would he tell us if he's that close? I wouldn't expect him to. I know I wouldn't. I've hidden things from this channel that I was told from people that I was tight with. So hopefully we get some more information. Yes, it could affect Crawford. How do I feel of Crawford going into the fight, the rematch with Spence without Bomac being there? I mean, Crawford is going to be 36 years old by that time. I would think Crawford would know how to do and prepare the same way. But, that man's been in your career for years. Who knows? Who's to say if that can affect him or not? But the most important thing right now is Bomac getting his freedom, and getting out of there. I think that's the most important thing. And for him, hopefully for him, it was just a mistake. And he can get a pass for it. He's probably not going to be allowed to go back to the UK if he does get a pass. But I don't know. I don't know how it works out there. I wish him luck because I don't think there was any bad intentions of finding that gun. And again, he's finding the gun was found on his way back. It's not like he got caught with the strap on him while he's walking in at the streets in the UK. You know what I mean? It's not like he got pulled over in a car and they found it in the car. It's not like he got pulled. It's not like he robbed somebody with the gun and he got caught. He was in the airport on his way back to U.S. soil. where he's actually a permitted carrier, so a licensed carrier. So I don't think there was any ill intentions. I personally believe that it's most likely it was in there and he forgot. Just the thought of someone going to the UK intentionally bringing a gun for protection sounds crazy to me. Like, bro, wherever you're from, you're probably more likely need it where you're from than over there. Again, I'm not trying to diss y'all out there because I love y'all out there, but let's be real, you know. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.